All right, good morning, everybody. On here a couple minutes early. My name's Tom Reber. We're going to get going here with our training. Let me know if you can hear me. Find your chat box. I'll type a message in there right now that says hi, and maybe it'll pop up and show you something. All right. Let's see here. I'm going to share my screen. Hopefully, you all see the screen at some point here. We are already recording, which is a good sign. All right. Jay Fournier, Stephen, Victor, good to see you. Appreciate you guys being here today. Somebody go ahead and hit me up in the chat box. Let me know that you can hear me. All right. We'll get started in about 4 minutes here. All I need is one of you to say, I hear you, Tom, or a thumbs up or something like that. Hear well here. All right, cool. Thank you, Victor. Appreciate that. So there's the Q&A box, guys, and then I think you should have access also to a chat box, which is a little quicker sometimes. So either one's fine with me. I don't care what you all use. But we're going to go fast and crazy through a bunch of content today for you guys. Super excited to get this rolling here in just a minute. And Victor, since you answered me, I want to also make sure that you can see the screen. Can we see the screen? Yes? Okay, cool. Now you replied in the chat box. That's cool. I was looking in the Q&A. All right, now we're good. I'm going to close the Q&A and go right to the chat box then. There we go. Good stuff. All right, about 2.5, 3 minutes. We're going to kick this thing off. Got Vince, Jay, Stacy, Stephen, Victor. Good to see you. Guys, if you have a question or something like that, just type it in the chat box and make sure it says, it'll say to, there's a little drop down. Make sure it says everyone in the meeting. That way, if you have a question or whatever, you guys can engage with each other. You can help each other out as well. If I don't see something, whatever it is. All right. And for like the 5th time, I'm making sure that we're recording here. There we go. Yes. Should be recording. Yes, we are. All right. Anybody other than Victor have anything they can type at the chat box? Just let me know you can hear me, see my screen, all that other stuff. Guys, I love engagement. It's why I do this. All right. Awesome. Thanks, Lauren. Appreciate that. And you should be able to see the screen. We're sparing you the video today because it'll slow the feed down. We got a lot to cover on the screen. And the clock is about to strike the top of the hour here any second. And we will get this thing rolling. All right. All right, welcome everybody today to our training that is graciously put on by Harvey Building Products. Guys, they're doing so much to continue to add value to their clients and their partners and things like that. And I'm grateful that they tapped me on the shoulder and asked me to come do a few different trainings for you. So for the next, for today and the following 2 Tuesdays at 11 o'clock Eastern time, I believe, we are going to be digging into a few different topics in your business. So what I'd love for you to do is find the chat box. Just type in for me where you live and what do you do, if you could do that for me. I always love to have a pulse of who's on the training, so that I can just have a better understanding of my audience. These live events, you don't always know where people are and what they do. I also want to give you a disclaimer that I'm also working from home right now. You might hear some dogs. You might hear they're outside right now, but then they typically scratch on the door and go, damn it, let me in. I got to eat and all that other stuff. So, all right, we got Wilmington, GC, we got Monroe, remodeling, consultant and sales. Good stuff. Vince, we've got behind the scenes for Vulcan Construction in New Hampshire. Awesome. Glad to have you guys here today. So we're going to dig right in. We got about an hour together, and we have a lot to cover. So this topic today that we decided to bring your way is all about how to build your brand and generate leads in our new environment, which, you know, is obviously, we got a little bit of a lockdown in some places. It's got the social distancing thing going on. We've got a lot of people are tightening their belts. They're not picking up the phone as much anymore. Lead flow for many has dropped. And I'm hearing it all over the place. We work with hundreds of contractors in different industries all over the country in North America, and shoot, even in Australia and New Zealand and things like that, which is pretty dang cool. And I'll tell you, it's a mixed bag of what's out there. And the people that are typically kicking butt right now have already been doing a good job branding their business and marketing, and they got some of these things in place. I'm going to tackle this topic from a couple different angles here today, guys. And the first is really going to be what I call the profit path. And we do a whole training on this for companies, but I want to highlight it here because this isn't just about marketing and getting leads and stuff. You know, that first sentence there talks about building your brand. And if you want to build a really strong brand, there's got to be some things that are in place, because we're in a fight. And, you know, typically this fight, we all, you know, as contractors and business owners and salespeople and things like that, it's easy to think that the fight is with the cheap customers and the low ball contractors and all that other garbage. At the end of the day, guys, it is all about the fight between our ears. The 6 inches between our ears is going to determine whether we're successful or not. And so, and I firmly believe your marketing starts with building your brand really starts with these 8 prerequisites here that we build upon in a sequential order that are going to help you build a stronger brand. And so I'm just going to fly through these just to give you a setting of some of the things that if you're struggling to build your brand and unify your team and some things like that, it's going to be harder to market your business. But when you have a unified team and you have strong leadership and some of the things here that we're going to look at, everything seems to come together and you have a lot more progress. And so, oops, missed my button. There we go. Guys, building a brand starts with strong leadership from the top. So, you know, if you don't have somebody who has clarity of the direction that you want to take the business and make sure that we're all rowing in the right direction, we're all rowing together in the same direction, it's going to be really, really hard to build your brand. And I don't care if you're a 1-person company or a 100-person company, building your brand, leading your company is the foundational part of this thing. It's that strong leadership, it's clarity. Where are we going? Who are we going to be? What are we going to be known for? And all that stuff. Then followed by that, a strong leader is going to create an intentional culture. So like I said at the top of this, I'm big on the chat box. I want you all to give me 1 or 2 words right now that you feel describe your current culture in your business. Because our culture tells a story. It's part of your brand. So what do we got in the chat box there? 1 or 2 words that describe your current culture of your business. And then what I want you to do is, after you type that in or write it down on your own, okay? All right, so we got unknown, all right? What I want you to do is think, what do I want to be known for? What do I want our company to stand for? What is the, what are those non-negotiable values that we're going to build our brand upon? So for example, in my company, the contractor fight, we have, I don't know, I don't even number them. We have 6 or 8 core values in our company that drive everything we do. And that's, guys, that's build our brand. And one of those things, I'll give you an example, is we play the long game. That is, as my team and I, every week in our weekly meeting, we sit down and we all share an example of how we lived out one of the values in our company. And playing the long game means we don't do anything for a quick transaction. I get a lot of opportunities to speak and have sponsors on my podcast and YouTube channel and all this other stuff that are just a quick buck. But if I don't feel they align with where we're going as a company, and that's to bring respect and dignity back to the trades over the long haul, we don't have those conversations. And so it's super important that a leader, you as the leader, have a clear direction of who you are, what you're building, and what your culture is going to look like, because the people in your business are telling a story every single day. All right. And so I'll give you a quick example here. A painting company I used to own a million years ago. We would have weekly reporting and of the job sites and what was going on, and our crew leaders would go through and give an account of where they were on projects. And oftentimes, one of our crew leaders, when they would report the hours, they'd say, yeah, the job was bid for 100. I brought it in at 108. And we'd say, well, what happened? Why the extra 8? He's like, hey, there were a couple things on this project that I thought were going to bite us in the tail in the long run. So I chose to put a little more time into these things so I could defuse the bomb before it blew up in our face on a callback down the road. That's playing the long game, and that's part of building your brand. That's part of going that extra mile for your clients and things like that. And those things are noticed, guys. Your brand is a story. And so as we talk about brand today, there's building your brand, and then there's getting leads. And the companies that build a strong brand, a brand that tells a story, will absolutely outperform a company that doesn't. All right, so we talked a little bit about your culture here. When you have strong leadership and you have an intentional culture, this will satisfy your employees. So many times our business is struggling simply because we don't have that foundational direction and clarity from a leader, and then we don't have we all have a culture, but it might not be the intentional culture that we want to build. But when you have that intentional culture and it's supporting its people, you have employee satisfaction. Satisfied employees are always more loyal. Okay, they're always more loyal, and they're always more productive. Okay, in this profit path stuff that we're talking about right now, based on a study done a million years ago, I believe it was Harvard or Princeton or one of those things, and we've kind of made it our own here in the contractor fight. But guys, the reason I'm covering these things right now is if many times when we lack leads, we lack sales, we lack profits, as a business, we often go to hey, let's make the customer happy. Let's raise our quality of the projects and things like that. And as we're seeing here, this is the way that it has to roll. You got to be clear as a leader, strong intentional culture that satisfies your employees. In turn, a satisfied employee, and it's not just money, guys. We all know that. It's, do they have a voice? Do they feel like they're contributing to the greater good? Are their skills being utilized? And on and on. Do they feel heard? Are they respected? Okay, when they are, they're satisfied, they're loyal, they're happier and more productive, and in turn, you have higher quality work and services and products, which then leads to customer satisfaction, which leads to customer loyalty, which brings us to consistent leads, sales, and profit in our business. So I wanted to set the stage that so much of the stuff that we teach and train on and speak about and coach when it comes to marketing is all rooted actually in the leadership of your company. Okay. Vince, the recording of this, that's on Harvey. What they do with it is on them. So I would ask the peeps over at Harvey about that. Appreciate the question. All right. So guys, I want to urge you, before you run out, you start throwing up marketing and advertising campaigns and spending a bunch of money and this and that, take the time to understand where you want to go as a business. And hopefully that makes sense to you guys. All right. So next thing I want to talk about here, I want to dig in a little more of the meat here. again, before we go out, and I see this all the time, guys, we've worked with, I mean, we have hundreds and hundreds of clients, contractor clients in our free and paid coaching programs and all that other stuff that we do. And I can't tell you this, this issue of how many leads do you need is really, what's the word I'm looking for? Not taken very seriously. There's a better word for this, but it's underestimated, the power of this and what I'm going to talk about here, which is why I'm including this now. So many contractors, even existing contractors, been in business a long time, they will just start going, oh, I heard Facebook ads is good. And they start running a Facebook ad. Or they, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this networking thing, I need to build this certain landing page on my website, or whatever it might be for you. So much money and time gets spent marketing a business before we even have clarity. And I talked a little bit about who do we want to be known for, what do we want our culture to be, and all that stuff in that earlier section. But right now it comes down to how many leads do I actually need to reach my goals? So many times guys will say to me, yeah, I'm going to grow my business by $500,000 this year. And I said, how are you going to do that? Okay. And they usually don't have an answer. Okay. But guys, leads are oxygen. You can't breathe. Your business can't sell stuff if you don't have qualified leads coming in the gate. All right. So we're going to do a little exercise, because my experience has been is truly 75, 80% of contractors I've ever spoken to, live, online, whatever, they don't know how to figure out how many leads that they need. All right. So I want to just take a minute to do that. And then I'm going to ask you guys to figure it out on your own. So I want to give a scenario here. All right. You find there's a little formula here, your break even scenario. So if I need 850 grand a year to come in the door to break even, okay. And that might look like this thing here below. It's your overhead divided by your gross profit percentage. Now, I have a 0.30. That's a 30% gross profit here, because that's sadly what far too many contractors are getting before I sink my teeth into them. All right. We preach get a 50% gross profit. And some of you are like remodelers and builders right now are going, no way. Well, I'm telling you, it happens. And we have got dozens of guys that do it because they learn the numbers, they get their minds right, they tell the right story with their brand and all that other good stuff, and they learn how to sell. And when you do those things, people will pay more money for the expert. So here's a hypothetical situation where I just rounded the 833 up to 850. So if your overhead is 250 grand a year, that's your salary, your person in the office, the marketing you spend, whatever gets paid on a monthly basis, all right, even if you don't do any projects. So if I pay my guys in the field hourly to go build something, they're not overhead, they're cost of goods, okay? So overhead's everything else that's not cost of goods that still needs to be paid. There's variable and fixed overhead, blah, blah, blah. All right, that's another seminar that we can do. You take that overhead and you divide it by the decimal of what your average gross profit has been. So let's say you look at your P&L last year and you're like, hey, my overhead was 250 grand and my average gross profit through the whole year ended up at 30%. Might have a job at 50, might have one at 60, might have a one at 5, whatever it is. At the end of the day, you realized a 30%. So you divide that, you get about 833 grand. I rounded up to 850. We all clear on how I got that, guys? Real quick here before we go on. Use that chat box. Awesome. See one yes in the chat box. So I'm going to assume there's more yeses. Far too many of us build our marketing plans and our growth plans and things like that based on emotion, based on what we feel and think instead of what the data is telling us. So in this current situation here, if I got to do 850 grand a year just to break even, that means let's pretend this, guys, if I sold one job this year and it was $850,000 and I produced it at a 30% gross profit, I would basically have my $250,000 left to pay for my overhead. There'd be no net profit and we would simply break even. That's what this really means here. Okay. So a lot of people think, oh, if my overhead's 250, my break-even point's 250. No, your break-even point's way freaking higher. Now let's do a pop quiz here. If my overhead is $250,000 and my gross profit is a 50%, if I've been getting a 50%, how much, what would my break-even sales amount be at the top of the page here? And it wouldn't be 850. Pop quiz. Come on, use your brains. There you go, Victor, ding, ding, 500 grand. So you see, the higher your gross profit, the less you got to do in sales dollars to hit your break-even point. Okay, a lot of guys think, I just got to feed the machine and do more work, more work, more work. And as you'll see here in the example, all right, when we know what our break-even point is, and then AJS is our average job size. So let's say your average job size is 10 grand. Well, you divide 850 by 10 grand, you gotta do 85 projects in that time period. You could do this monthly, you could do this quarterly, you could do this annually, however you want to do it. And if your closing rate on sales, let's just say out of every 10 leads that come in, you turn 4 of them into work, you got to know that closing rate. You divide the jobs needed, 85 divided by 0.40, your close rate. And in this case, it gives us about 212 leads that you need in order to sell 85 jobs. Okay, so what I want you guys to do right now, I want you to do your own analysis. All right, I want you to do your own analysis. Maybe you're a salesperson for your company right now and you don't know what the company overhead is and all that other stuff, but maybe they've given you a sales quota, right? They gave you a sales quota, 850 grand in your average job size. You could still reverse engineer this. So everybody, I want you to share with me, how many leads do you need to hit your break-even goal? Remember, break-even isn't even net profit, guys. Okay, so I'm going to give you about 45 seconds here while I take a drink of my vitamin water, 0 sugar lemon flavor. Go back to this screen so you can see the math if you need to. Figure out your jobs needed. Divide it by your closing rate. That'll give you how many leads you need for the year. Somebody's got to do this for me. I know we got a bunch of people on the call here. You all doing your math? Guys, telling you, and I know you're probably figuring this out on your own right now, but this is one of the things that separates the winners from the frickin' losers in the business world, is the people that become experts in their numbers. So I know in this case here that we were looking at, if I got to do, 212 leads in the year, if I just average it out, okay, over 12 months. Now I know a lot of us don't average like that because we have ups and downs with seasonality. That comes to about 18 leads a month, which is about 4.5, 5 leads a week. It's a lead a day. All right. And this is important stuff because most contractors just wait for shit to come their way. Most are not intentional about what it takes to produce leads. So I ain't seen nobody share nothing in the box. I'm calling you guys out. Somebody got to share something in that box with me, how many leads you need. All right. Don't be lazy about this stuff. If you already know it, you should be able to just type it in too. So either you know it and you're not typing it in, or you're just being lazy right now. Let's go. Come on, this is about the fight. This is the contractor fight. This is the 6 inches between your ears. I failed every math class I took in my life, but I became an expert in math for business because math gets us paid, you guys. And understanding exactly how many leads, okay, exactly how many leads that you need, all right, is part of understanding the math of your business. All right, we got 212 in there. That was like the same number I got, so good job. So either you just said, screw it, Tom, made up that, or that is your own number. Victor, 101, perfect. Okay, guys, so now you got to know where you got to get to, right? And listen, we get way deep in the weeds here. You could do it by lead source. I never start with the deep in the weeds stuff with people, guys, because it's too confusing. Just start tracking your leads, track your sales, track your close rates, and understand, like, every time the phone rings, you got to know where they came from. Maybe somebody referred you. Maybe it was an influencer that we'll talk about later. Maybe it was a Google search, whatever. The more detail you can get about where your leads come from, and not just how many leads come in, but which ones turn into money, that's when the game changes. Okay. All right, he did the math. Awesome. There we go. Vince, 100. Perfect. So, guys, this is important stuff. And here's why it's important and why I'm banging this drum here. I want to encourage you guys to keep score every day. This is just a simple, stupid, non-CRM, non-spreadsheet, generic analog lead tracking scorecard that some of the people in my programs use. All right. And it's just the month. That was March. So the first was a Sunday. That's Sunday to Saturday. And so if my phone rings, and I get 2 leads on Monday the 2nd, at the end of the day, I'm simply going to write the number 2 under that little hashtag there. And then on the right side, I'm going to write what I sold today. Now, you might be selling a job that you were talking to somebody about a month ago, and they finally sent you the contract and the deposit check for the $20,000 project, and I'd write 20K in there. And here's why this is important. This is why I'm beating the crap out of this right now. So many people think that it's about the strategies and the tactics and all this other stuff to get more leads, and it certainly is to some degree, but the most important factor to growing your business and get more leads comes down to how you think and what are you attracting into your life. Your RAS, your reticular activating system, is a little part of your brain. And whatever we tell it is important, it finds more of. And some of you know what I'm talking about with this because you went out and you were looking at like a metallic gray Chevy Silverado pickup or whatever. And you went and test drove one and you've been looking at it. And then now it seems like, man, I see these things everywhere. I can't go anywhere and not see one of these trucks. It's like they just appeared out of nowhere. Guys, they were always there. That many trucks were always there. Okay. But now that you're putting your brain's intention on it, okay, now that you're putting your brain's intention on it, you're going to find more of that shit. So if every day you are tracking your leads, you're just simply taking the time to go, how many damn times did the phone ring today? How many requests came through Facebook Messenger or our website or whatever it is? Keeping score, just doing that alone with your leads and your sales will produce more leads and sales. I can't express this enough to you guys. All right. That's why I beat this drum and knowing exactly how many leads you need to have. See, it's funny. When I've been a owner and partner in several contracting companies through the years. And when I set goals, I never set a sales goal. Now, I know what my break-even sales is. I know what I want to sell. But let me say this. I set a goal, but I never focus on that goal. I never focus on my sales goal. I don't care what my sales goal is because I reverse engineer things to the fact of how many leads do I need. And some of these are inbound leads. Some of these are from cold outreach and prospecting, whatever it is. And I know as long as I'm on track to hit or surpass my number of leads, the sales and the profits are going to follow. So I always focus on the thing that I can just track every day that I have, that I can just put my focus on, get my RAS dialed in. All right. So hopefully, guys, that makes sense. You understand the importance of tracking leads. That one thing alone, I'm telling you right now, I've seen transform businesses in every industry of every size, just taking the time each and every day. So if you got a marketing person, they should be texting you every damn day going, this is how many leads came in today. Okay. If you got somebody who runs that for you. If you're a one-man operation, you should sit down and take 3 to 5 minutes at the end of every day and go, all right, what happened today? How many times did the phone ring? How many leads came in? Now, there's leads and then there's qualified leads. And that's what a good sales process is for, right? So I understand not everyone's a qualified lead, but the point here is how many leads are we getting? And then at the end of the month, you tally it up here at the bottom. This is how many leads we had. And in our case, we need 212 on the year. That number at the bottom better say at least 18 or more. And if it does, I know I'm on track to hit my goals. All right, you guys with me so far? Who's awake? Who's asleep? We're going to get into more tactical stuff here now. So, Stacy, you raised your hand, and I don't know what that means. I don't know what to do when I see that. So if you have a question, go ahead and just type it in there, and I'll take care of it. All right, so let's pretend right now 24, 25 minutes into this call that I just, was snipered. Okay. I'm done. The broadcast goes dead. All right. I want you all to type in the box right now, what is the one thing, if it ended right now, that you would walk away with that would help your business? Told you I was going to make you guys think. Yes, this sheet's available. Feel free to email help@thecontractorfight.com and say that we want the monthly scorecard, and we'll send that out to you. All right, good, guys. All throughout trainings, when I go to seminars, when I do online stuff, when I listen to a podcast, I watch a video, I'm just talking to me as the consumer here of these trainings, all right? I frequently ask myself, all right, if this thing ended right now, what would I walk away with? What would I implement? Because we can have all the great ideas in the world and this and that, but if we're not implementing, we're not taking action, doesn't mean jack. All right? Vince, you're a good speller. All good, man. All right. So guys, I'm happy to give you this help at thecontractorfight.com and just say, hey, Tom said something, but you see here, we have monthly ones. So we just make them up. They're real easy. I know people that just take a spiral notebook. One of my clients, who's now one of my business partners, believe it or not, we started working together in 2015. The guy was making about 60 grand a year on a business that did about $400,000 a year. Fast forward the end of 2018? No. Yeah, 2018. He was doing 1.2 and he was paying himself $400,000 a year. And he used to drive around in his truck and carry this spiral notebook with him. And all he would do is write down his leads and the sales for the day. And he made a commitment that he would not do any jobs that he wasn't going to make at least a 50% gross profit on. All right. And his income, personal income, went from about 60 a year to about $400,000 a year, probably 10 grand short of 400 grand in 2018. All because he just did the simple daily thing of tracking shit. All right. All right. So here we go. How do we get more eyeballs? That's really why you're here. You're like, all right, this fundamental leadership and culture stuff's great, Tom, but this whole how many leads do I need? But when are you going to give me the scoop here? Because right now I need my phone to ring. Okay. And I get it. We all need our phone to ring, but we want our phone to ring with the right human beings on the other end of the line. We want the right people filling out the forms on our websites. We don't want to spend one frickin' second of our lifetime hanging out with somebody that's not going to be a great fit for our company. In order to do that, you got to become you got to be committed to marketing, number one. And whether you're in charge of it or not in your company, if you own a company, you have employees, and you've hired somebody to do marketing for you, it's still your number one responsibility. It's still your job to make sure that you guys are rowing in the direction that you want to go as the leader in your business. All right. And not just what I see oftentimes, people hire a marketing person. Oh, my niece, she studied marketing in college. Well, you know what? She's never generated a damn sale in her whole damn life. She came right out of college, and now we think she's a marketing expert. And if you got your niece or your daughter or your sister or your wife or anyone, your husband, who's like your marketing person, I don't mean to hurt your feelings, but I'm telling you right now, 99 out of 100 times when you just hire somebody and go, hey, go do it, they screw the pooch. All right. So we're going to talk about some fundamental things here that you as the leader of your business need to have on straight if you want to have success in marketing. I'm also going to say this. I know we got a few people on here that are probably salespeople for other people. Looks like I think we had some people from Harvey that might be territory sales managers or whatever it is. Guys, this marketing stuff still applies to you as you build your own personal brand as a salesperson. Okay. A lot of these things work as a company and they work as an individual, because remember, we sell to people and we are people. All right. So type in the box right now for me the number one thing you hate about marketing, if anything, or your number one struggle with marketing, while I take a drink of my vitamin water. You'd think they sponsor me or something, but they don't. All right. Stacy says the time it takes. Timing. So Vince, that could be the time it takes, or it could be the timing of it working, right? One or the other. Stacy, the time it takes is a big reason that people outsource the stuff, but oftentimes they outsource things to people who don't know what they're doing. I see so many people hire a marketing firm, and that marketing firm never takes the time to understand where the leader of the company wants to go, what types of jobs do they want, and things like that. Okay. Yeah, outsource or do it myself. If you got big bags of money and you can pay for it, that's great, but you got to make sure that you're hiring somebody that knows what they're doing. And I just want to encourage you guys, if you hire somebody, well, really, no matter what, we got to track our results, right? But especially if you're cutting a check to somebody every month, you better damn well know what the outcomes are, what outcomes are expected, okay, in order for them to keep their job. It's just like if I'm a kicker in the NFL, if I don't make kicks, they cut my ass, okay? So define what those kicks are for your marketing team, whether it's, in-house or outsourced, okay? Generating quality leads, says Victor. A lot of bad leads I need to weed out. Yeah, here's the thing, guys. If 100 leads come in, most of them are going to not be a good fit for you. We have a sales training academy and stuff for contractors, blah, blah, blah. And what we find is out of about every 10 leads that comes into a company, 1 or 2 of them deserve some further discovery and possibly a second date. Okay. Usually 8 of them or so just are not a good fit for us. And so we're going to talk about some things to level up the quality of leads here for you guys. All right. Look at 3 strategies right now. This one is especially, now I believe these apply no matter what's going on in the world, okay, with viruses and bad economies, things like that. I 100%, the things I share here, I believe are applicable at all times, but if you want to, take it, hey, even more so right now, then so be it. Guys, strategy number 1 is all about stepping on the gas, and here's why. Most people, here's a warning, most people right now are shrinking back. Your competitors are curled up in a closet, sucking their damn thumbs and hoping this thing passes. They're filling out the shit online about how to get paid from the government. They're spending 6-8 hours a day reading blogs and watching videos of how to get reimbursed their $1,200 check and what am I going to get reimbursed. And listen, I am not saying don't do some of that stuff, but what I'm saying is if they spent half that time stepping on the gas in their marketing, they wouldn't need the damn money. Okay? And that's why you have a bookkeeper and a CPA and an attorney, because you pick the phone up and you go, hey, handle this for me. I'm going to spend my time marketing my business. So right now is the time that you step on the gas, because others are not. Others are afraid. And every time the economy takes a dive and it struggles like this, the majority of small business owners shrink back. And this is the time that you go all in. You go all in on the things that are going to grow your business. Such as, number 1, I ask myself, what's working right now? I want you all to type something in the box right now. What is working in your business to bring you good customers? Not just lots of leads, but what is working to bring you people that are a great fit for your company? Boom, not surprised to see referrals right out of the gate, right? What else is working for you? Maybe you're doing Facebook ads. Maybe you're kicking butt on Google. Okay, you got that dialed in. All right, there you go. Stacy, Instagram. So here's the number 1 thing you do to step on the gas. The first question I ever ask anybody is, what's working for your business right now? And then guess what, guys? You do more of that. Expect in a struggling economy to put in 10 times the effort, more effort than you have been to get about the same results. In many cases, that's how it shakes out during a recession or a bad economy or a rough time of fear and uncertainty and all that stuff that we're dealing with right now. So those of you that said Instagram or referrals or reaching out on the phone, double down on that stuff, okay? Just do it more. If you have an ad that is working for you right now and you're spending $300 a month and it's bringing you 30 grand in sales, guess what? Spend $1,000 a month on the dang thing. This is why you track your leads and where they're coming from and what's working. The data will always tell you where to put your efforts. 100% of the time. And I'm going to talk about some of these other things that don't involve spending a lot of money. But whatever's working, go harder on it. Number 2, over to the right there, guys, client contact. Step on the gas with being in front of your ideal clients. Anybody that's in your database that you've ever worked for, anyone that you're connected with on social media, anyone, you got your email list and all these things. This is the time to be in front of them. You should be sending a weekly email to your database. Oh, Tom, I don't want to bother people. I don't want to annoy them. Guys, first of all, 60 to 70% of them aren't even getting the damn email because it's going to their spam or promotions tab. So they're not even seeing it. You're not going to piss anybody off. And honestly, you want people to unsubscribe from your email list because it helps your open rates. Okay, when you have people that don't give a crap about you and your business, they're not going to open your email anyway. You want them to unsubscribe. Okay, whole crazy thing. We just did a training on email marketing, I don't know, a month or 2 ago. And the numbers are crazy that when you cut people from your email list, you actually get more opens, more clicks, more money. So every week, send stuff out, okay? And do not be salesy. This is not the time to be salesy. This is a time to add value as a company. And what I mean by that is this. One of the companies that I'm working with, this is one of our programs, a large point or part of their client base is elderly people. They do some retrofit stuff and all that other, stuff to update homes, blah, blah, blah. And so they send out things like, hey, we know during this time you're not able to do a lot of the things that you did before, and it could get pretty lonely. You don't have your bridge club. You can't go down to the VFW and have a beer with the guys or whatever it is. And so here's an article that we found of how to kill the time at home and how to connect with people and blah, blah, blah. They're adding value. All right. They sent out another thing on their social media, I think, and an email where they talked about, hey, this is a time, for us to notice the people around us in our neighborhoods that might need some help doing stuff and this and that. So don't be a stranger. Don't be hiding too much. Yeah, keep the social distance, but understand there's a lot of elderly people out there that their kids can't come over, their kids don't live near them, they're out of state, they don't have their normal social gatherings where they get out of the house once or twice a week, all right? So pick the phone up or, do something to connect with them and make them feel like they're still special. Guys, this is about adding value. We take, and I don't mean this in a bad way, we take so much from the communities that we work in. They give us money, they support us, millions of dollars a year. Okay, they send our kids to school, they make our car payments and all this, these communities do. And what I want to encourage you with, which is that lower right thing that says give, have a giver's mindset right now that I'm going to give back to my community. Even if you don't have a lot of money to donate to food banks and things like that, there's still so much that you can do to encourage people. Don't just be a taker in your community, be a giver. Guys, again, this comes back to having clarity, like we talked about in the beginning, about what kind of culture that you're developing here. All right. Are we going to be all positive and this and that and add value only when times are good? Or are we going to step up because this is the type of people that we are. This is the type of people that we employ. This is the type of brand that we're building. Remember, a brand is a story. When people think of your company, they think of something. When I say Walmart, most of you think cheap. Okay. When I say Nordstrom's, most of you think expensive, high quality. BMW, high quality. White Castle makes me crap. Okay. And so on. Every company tells a story. And I'm not telling you, hey, if giving and donating time and money and resources and serving your community is not your thing, then don't be unauthentic about it. Don't do it. But I'm just telling you, this is a great way to connect not just with your clients, but your community. All right, lower left here, we've got social media 20x. Right now, the companies that I'm seeing that are doing the strongest with lead flow, have money in the bank and this and that, have been on social media consistently for the past several years because they continue to sell a story. My buddy Alan out in New York builds ponds and water features. They're a 1 point something million dollar company at 65% gross profit. Okay, well, $350,000 in 2019 came from him doing consistent Facebook Live videos from job sites, just going, hey guys, check this waterfall out. Look what we're doing here and blah, blah, blah. Okay. I am begging you right now, especially if you're one of those businesses, you don't have any money in the bank, all right, or you don't have money to spend on marketing, or you don't know where to spend it, you have a phone. Pull the phone out, take some pictures, tell some stories about job sites. Okay, I'm going to go into some of that a little more specifically as we go on here. But guys, amp up your social media. Whoever said, Stacy said Instagram, well then get crazy on Instagram. Find out the formula, what's working. Connect with other influencers. I got a buddy here in Colorado where I live who's exploded his business on Instagram, okay, because he's connecting with landscape designers, architects, GCs, developers, home builders, and these are high quality leads because he's been consistent for over a year, posting 3 to 5 times a day on stories and all that other stuff. So find where your customers are, all right, and learn the skill that it's going to take to connect on those social media platforms. All right, so hopefully that makes sense for you guys. All right. And this is what I want to talk about here, this follow up the social media thing here. A couple best practices for you guys. Number one, guys, be you. Don't be somebody else. Don't be fake. Don't be too professional. Don't be too polished. People see through that and they're tired of that crap. All right. They want somebody who's authentic, who's real. One example might be doing a post of what I hate. It's maybe you're a GC, maybe you're a remodeler, maybe you're a, trim carpenter. I don't care what you do. Okay. Imagine doing a post, you do a video, you're out on a job site and you just go, one of the things I hate about general contractors, and people are like, what? You're a general contractor. Okay. One of the things I hate about general contractors is this: we create many of the problems that we have. A lot of the complaints that customers have, and I believe this is true with all contractors, by the way. Guys, as a contractor, I see so many clients have a bad taste in their mouth because of contractors, and I got to call us out on that. All right, we need to do a better job of communicating. We got to do a better job of having a clear scope of work and expectations and not surprising people with a bill at the end of the job. And I'd be pissed too if I was a homeowner and I hired somebody and blah, blah, blah. See, guys, it's real. It's real. Instead of going, hi, I'm Bob with Bob's GC company, and we're really professional and we're really awesome. See, it shows when you are raw and you are real and you're being yourself and you're being authentic, you're not playing games with people, and trust is built because you're not just blowing smoke. Educate, educate, educate. Use social media to educate. Tom, I don't know what to say. Teach us. If you're fixed, I'm looking at in our kitchen right now, we have this stove top, and the little handles, the knobs are all a wreck. Okay, they're broken. Half of them don't work, and I'm just too lazy to pick the phone up and have somebody come fix the thing. I'm too lazy to go order the parts online. Whatever. I'm busy. Okay, I got one knob that works, and we move it to each different burner. It's kind of funny, right? So, you know what? If you're out here fixing this thing, then do a video and say, hey, here's a quick fix that you could do on your own right now. Or maybe you're a painting contractor and you can do a 3-minute video on how to properly touch up trim. Hey, if you're stuck at home because of COVID right now. Okay, see, guys, it's real. It's relevant to what they're going through right now. Educate us. Okay, chat box is really quiet, people. Give me some love. Let me know you're still alive. All right, you don't have to say anything special. Just let me know that I'm not talking to dead air out there. All right, educate. Consistency is huge. Social media doesn't work. That's because you only do it once a month. Okay. What I'm about to say is probably going to blow your faces off here, but if you are not creating 3 to 5 pieces of content a day for social media, you ain't trying. All right? You ain't trying. And I'm calling you out on that. You waste a lot of time on Facebook and do other shit. You're wasting time figuring out what grants you can get from the government right now, blah, blah, blah. If you got time to do that, you got time to grow your business on social media. And if, my good buddy, Marcus Sheridan, he wrote They Ask You Answer. He's a big content marketing guy. I'm going to touch on him here in a little bit. Been a friend of his for a long time. His swimming pool business during the last recession was taking a nosedive. He started blogging. Guess when he wrote his blogs, guys? Between 11 p.m. and 2 a.m. in the morning at his kitchen table. All right, so you giving me this crap, I don't have time to do this social media stuff, is a bunch of crap. All right, everyone, what's the old saying? Everyone wants to be a lion. till it's time to do lion shit. Well, this is lion shit. Step up and get this stuff done and be consistent. All right. We do a challenge here I got from one of my coaches a while back, and I ripped it off. And it's basically a 5-day series. I'm going to give you that here today. 5-day social media series. And all these videos are 2 minutes or less. And you don't edit them. You don't do multiple takes. You do one take, turn your phone sideways, record it directly to your phone, post it directly to Facebook on your business page and your personal page. And you can also put it on LinkedIn. Okay? And the first video is, what do I do? Hey, everybody, I'm on social media. It dawned on me that not a lot of people have no idea what I do. You know, I'm a GC that works for left-handed midgets in this zip code, blah, blah, blah. Be specific, okay? Why do I do what I do? I do this because I can't imagine being trapped inside, and I love the feeling of painting a building or doing this and doing that and seeing people's eyes light up when we're done. I like making people happy. I like creating things. I like designing things. Okay, why are we better than everybody? What results do we get for people, and how do you work with us? Okay, there's your first 5 days of social media posts right there. All right, do you recommend creating all new content? Have you found sharing trustworthy content? Yeah, I don't want to share. I'm not here to build somebody else's platform. I might share the occasional, hey, the Harvard Business Review had this article, it was really cool about the math in your business, and I'll post it, but 99.999% of my stuff is mine, okay? And I repurpose the crap out of it. I'll record a video on YouTube, and my video guy will chop that up, and we'll use a 40-second clip on Instagram and LinkedIn, and a minute and a half or whatever on Facebook and things like that. But I want to drive people back to my website, to my domain, my hub, if you want to call it that. And same with you guys. So every piece of content that you do, if you share a before and after picture, okay, you know, hey, every post should have a call to action. So the call to action might be, hey, scale of 1 to 10, what do you think of this countertop? It's a call to action. You're getting people to engage with you, okay? Maybe you're, you know, one idea that a painting contractor that we worked with did is whenever they were putting the first dip of the new color on the person's walls, they would do a Facebook Live, because usually the lady was at work or somebody was gone or whatever. They would do a Facebook Live and tag her and go, hey, Mary, here's the first dip of your new color. What do you think? And then she would share that with her whole world. Next thing you know, first time he did that, he got like 5 jobs within a day. Okay, because she shared it with her whole network, and everyone's like, oh, Mary, I love your color, and blah, blah, blah. See, guys, you're stepping into their world, you're connected with them, and you're taking control of your social media. This is why so many companies that hire out their social media, they go, man, I spent 10, 12, 15, 20 grand this year to have a social media company do something for me, and I don't have squat to show for it, okay, because they're not taking control. Yeah, I always use paint references there, sorry, because I owned a few painting companies and done, I don't know, thousands of projects over the years. In fact, we had a billboard once, guys, where we had calculated up about how many rooms we had painted, and the billboard was like, hey, what did it say? We've painted over 25,000 rooms, ... but yours is the only one that matters. That was our way of showing that, hey, we've been in the game a long time, but we're all about the experience that you were going to have. And that billboard was cherry for us for many years. All right. Strategy 2. Yeah, we're going to go a little more than an hour. Sorry, guys. Strategy 2, guys, is what I call the I-100 list, the Influencer 100 list. All right. So I want you to think, everything's connected, right? Our world is connected. I want you to think who stands in front of your ideal client every single day of the week. So if I'm talking about a painting contractor, again, as a painting contractor for me, it was home inspectors. Okay, it was real estate agents. It was carpet guys, hardwood guys, trim carpenters. Okay, I'm just talking residential here. So you guys do this on your own. In fact, I want you all to share right now 2 businesses. Influencers to me are other businesses, not just you did a residential job and she referred you. That's a client referral. What we're talking about is influencer referral. So everyone share 2 influencers right now that are always in front of your ideal client. So again, if I'm a If I'm a carpet guy, an influencer might be somebody that works for Budget Blinds, okay? And they're in people's homes every day. They're in hundreds of homes a day or a year, okay? Exterior restoration company, real estate agents. So many people give real estate agents a bad rap, guys. I did $500,000 a year from real estate agents, like clockwork. And it was really only like the same 4 or 5 agents, because 95% of real estate agents don't make any money because they don't sell any houses, because they don't market themselves, okay? Cabinet designers, whatever it is. So you guys, I want to encourage you to create your I-100 list. You know, it might be interior designers or whatever. One of our recent trainings, I showed the referral tree off of one cold email I sent an interior designer several years ago that turned in to, I don't know, $50,000, $80,000 worth of work with her that year within a couple months. But then it turned into a referral with a guy who worked at one of the country's most prestigious interior design firms. All right. And that office alone had 12 or 13 designers, and now they were all using us, and so on and so on. And then you go do those projects for the actual people. And then what do? They have you back a year later, 5 months later, whatever it is. And there's that lifetime value thing. And then you're also referred to their network of people, which is greater because it's a great network and they're more qualified leads, because we typically hang out with people who are like us. So if somebody hired a high-end interior designer to do their house and they give my name to somebody, chances are that somebody's got money too, and I'm not wasting my time. So hopefully you guys can visualize what's going on here with this image, these water drops. There's all these connections out there for you. And for me, they always started with influencers. And I spent time every single day. In fact, the majority of my day was building my influencer list. And I'll tell you this, guys, I never got to 100. Most I got to was 45 or 50 influencers that were solid for me. All right. And what happens over time is I give to them, I refer them, they refer me, and we help each other out. We respect each other. Nobody ever wanted referral fees. It was very rare. And if they did, we'd work something out. Okay. But most of us, we refer people that we know, like, and trust, and that we have a good relationship with, and make us look good, because there is a huge social proof approval psychology that when you refer somebody, you just don't want to look bad. All right. So if you make them look good, you're rocking and rolling. And so here's a simple thing it might look like. You just create a spreadsheet, guys. And you list the company, Smith Flooring. Maybe hardwood floor guys are a good thing for you. You got their contact name. Did I email them? Yes. Did I call them? Yes. Have I visited them? You know, maybe I stopped in the office or whatever. And then I just put a next step. Now, I know there's a million CRMs out there for this. All right. So maybe use your CRM. But the point here is create a list. Okay. Other people in other industries call this the dream list, right? The dream client list. I put on here people that I want to have a great relationship with, and I want to give to them, and they're going to give to me. So right now, most of you guys are probably going, yeah, that sounds great. Makes total sense. Well, how the hell do I connect with them? Okay. Anyone thinking that? Let's not overcomplicate this. I'm going to pour some more vitamin water here. Parched. I know a lot of people overcomplicate the connection piece. Like, yeah, I get it, Tom. And they either say, I don't have time to do that, which is bullshit, okay? Or they say, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to say. All right, so I'm going to address the latter. Here it is: cold email, or phone call, voicemail, or a text, or you go into their office. It's cold as they don't know you, okay? It's simply this, guys. Hi, I'm Tom with Tom's Exteriors. I see that you build really nice custom homes. I happen to work on and install stuff, siding, whatever, on really nice custom homes. Okay? Would it make sense for us to have a conversation? Guys, that was it. That was it. Okay? That basic structure is the basic structure of the email I sent to that interior designer a million years ago. And I sent to hundreds of them. Okay? Hi, I'm Tom with Tom's Painting. I see that you do interior design and really sweet, penthouses downtown on the lakefront. I happen to paint projects like that. Hey, would it make sense for us to have a conversation? And just shut your mouth and see what happens. All right. And I would do this in person. I would do this in email. I would do this on a phone call. It'd be the voicemail. All right. One of the best accounts I ever picked up was a company that did basement renovations. When I had a painting company, we were doing 300 to 400 projects a year. 60 to 80 of those jobs every year came off of this one phone call. The truck was driving down the road, and I was on my truck, and I simply called the number on the truck. All right. And the guy answered the phone, and I go, "Hey, are you the dude driving on such and such road right now?" And he laughed. He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Well, I'm the guy that you just drove by, and I noticed that you do basement renovations, and I don't know you yet, and I just happen to paint stuff. We do hundreds of jobs a year. And I was just curious if it would make sense for us to ever have a conversation." Guys, that conversation turned into 60, 80 projects a year. All right. It was, quite a bit of money in our pocket. And it was a great relationship that turned into a lot of things. So don't freak yourselves out about this reaching out stuff to people. Just do it. All right. Like anything, keep getting in the batter's box and keep finding your own terminology, your own words. But this is the framework that we've always used. All right. Another way that you can do this, guys, is connect with them and add value to them. Okay. Because you don't want a bunch of people reaching out to you that just want stuff all the time. So another possible script for you. Hey, Joe, it's Tom with Tom's Experience or Exteriors. I'm hosting a local contractor virtual event or whatever next week. We're going to be sharing some tips on marketing. I have Bob Johnson from Bob Johnson Marketing coming to do some free training. Goal of this is twofold. First, help us with marketing. Second, for all of us to connect with other strong businesses in the area. Would it make sense for me to get you the information so that you can join us? P.S. Who do you know that should be there? Okay. Now you're giving to them. If you want to connect with these flooring companies and painters and GCs and other business owners, type in the box right now. Don't be lazy about this. Type in the box. What do pretty much all business owners want? What do they all want? Sales, bingo. Leads, profit, hacks, advice, tools, a community, growth. So by doing this and hosting your own online event right now or in-person one later on, you become the expert to them. You become a trusted advisor to them. You're the connector. All right. And everything's going to go through you. And I knew a guy that did a video series of all the top contractors in his town. I think it was in Michigan. And he was in the landscaping industry, and he went out and found the best GC, and they did a video interview. Then he went out and found the best painter. Then he went out and found the best interior designer and the best home audio company and all this other stuff. And what that did is it grew his influencer network like crazy, because then those people, what do? They share the video, they share the blog you wrote or the article that you wrote about, and they share to their community or whatever it is. And now you have more eyeballs on you, and you're adding value to them. And again, all of this, guys, comes from the place in me that's about playing the long game in business. All right, I'll move on here. Strategy 3, content production. Okay. There's, again, this is a fundamental thing. I think if there's direct response marketing, which there's experts in that. And then there's, content marketers. Okay. Well, what the hell does that mean? Well, let's look at it. Okay. Guys, content marketing is something that informs, educates, and entertains and inspires customers to discover you, trust you, and buy from you, right? That's the whole goal of this thing. At the end of the day, we got to make money. But we live in a time that customers are way more educated than they've ever been, okay? And so I want to encourage you guys to take the position, take the posture of being an educator. This will always be in style. It will always be cool. There's going to be different ways, that we have video and we have audio and we have written stuff and we have visual stuff, because things are always changing. There's always a different social media platform and which email thing and server is best and CRM and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, if you hang your hat, and this is what I've done in my businesses, I hang my hat on being the educator. Okay, when you are the educator, you're the expert. Okay, and so there are so many things for you to educate. Marcus Sheridan, who I mentioned earlier, wrote a book called They Ask You Answer. Go download it or buy it. Marcus comes into my coaching programs several times a year, and we hire him to come in and do workshops for us and webinars and this and that. And I'll tell you what, I've gotten to know him really well over the past several years. He's one of, I believe, Forbes magazine's top marketing speakers in the world. And he started out as a pool contractor, still owns a pool business that installs and manufactures fiberglass pools. These are what he calls the big five. Okay, if you want to know what content to create, and this goes for creating blog posts, videos, social media posts, whatever. Guys, if you follow these five things, you'll never run out of stuff. All right, first is cost. Talk about money. If you have a website right now and you don't have a pricing page and articles about what things cost, you are screwing yourself. So those of you that your phone's ringing off the hook with a bunch of unqualified prospects that are too cheap for you, had you had money stuff on your website, they never would have called you or filled the form out, and they would have saved you both a lot of time and aggravation. Okay, talk about money. Money is the number one search thing there is, and we avoid it like the plague. Okay, that's a problem. So what it might look like is this. How much does it cost to remodel a bathroom? How much does it cost to remodel a small bathroom? How much does it cost to install, fill in the blank? Every single one of you right now, and I'm going to ask you to do this too, type in the box the number one question that you get in your business right now. And it doesn't just have to be about cost. So for me as a painting contractor, it was always money stuff, and then it was which paint is the best? Should I use flat or eggshell? And so on. These are things I heard almost every single day from people. And these are things people are also typing into Google. All right, so go ahead and type in the box right now what one of the number one questions you get all the time is. That's the first dang piece of content that you need to educate people on. Now, when you talk about money, everyone's like, well, Tom, it depends. I can't tell people what it costs to do a kitchen remodel because then I'm going to paint myself into a corner with this. Okay, well, that's why we start things with the answer, it depends. Hey, one of the biggest questions that we get all the time at ABC Remodeling is how much does it cost to remodel my kitchen? We'd love to give you a real simple answer, but as you know, no two kitchens are alike. And the uses that people want and the designs people are into, blah, 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 all vary, and so do the pricing. So it really depends, but here's a few factors that you can expect to figure into the cost of your kitchen. A kitchen in a neighborhood like blah, 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 outside of Boston here, where they're typically older, we run into these issues and blah, blah, blah. A kitchen here is going to start at $75,000 and go up from there, okay? So, guys, don't let talking about money freak you out, okay? It's just like when you buy a car, there's different options and there's different variables. Problems. What are the common problems in your industry? Address those problems people have. Why is my ceiling cracking? All right. Why are my windows steaming up? Okay. Whatever the things are in your industry that are problems, talk about those. Comparisons, Benjamin Moore versus Sherwin-Williams paint. Which is better? People literally type that crap into Google. Here, I'm going to show you. I wasn't going to do this today. Let me do this. Where am I? There we go. I'm just going to pull you to Google here quick. And watch. You go, how much, you see what I just searched? How much does it cost to book the Foo Fighters? I want to have an event and have them play. Anyway, how much does bathroom, see, look at that. It auto-populates the things that people are searching, you guys. And the number one thing here is cost, okay? How much does bathroom floor tile cost? These are all pieces of content and videos that you guys could easily get going, all right? All right, let me get back to this. So the 5 here. You guys with me so far? Does that all make sense? Hopefully I didn't lose you when I did the whole screen thing. Best of lists. Who are the best painting contractors in Alexandria? Okay, if you're a painting contractor in Alexandria, write an article who the best are, because people type in the best of all the time. Here's the one caveat. This is why you need to read Marcus's book. Don't list your own company. Okay, the minute you list your own company, all trust is lost. What you do is you start the article. The article is called, or the blog or the video is called, who are the best painting contractors or whatever contractors in your town, your area, your city. And you go, hey guys, I'm naive to think that everybody's a really good fit for my company. I'm personally my own biggest fan. I think we're the best thing going in our industry. But I do acknowledge the fact that we're not a good fit for everybody. So if we're not a good fit for you, here's a list of who I believe are some of the best blah, blah, blah contractors in this area, and a little bit of who they are. All right. Now, some of you are freaking out right now. I don't have time to go into why this is a good idea, but trust me, those who do this, it helps. All right. Do reviews and things like that. So, guys, this whole education thing is built on trust, and it's about you becoming the expert. The expert stands apart. Experts always get more attention. Experts can charge more money. They build stronger partnerships. They get more opportunities. The trust factor is through the roof. One of the reasons that the people that implement the things that we're talking about here actually have money in the bank and have lots of leads and sales and good things going for them is because they have expert status. When you hop online and you search anything that has to do with their industry, they're popping up. I would challenge you guys here today, pull up another window right now and type in any question about fiberglass swimming pools. You're going to find Marcus's company, Reber Pools, okay? Because he's been building an online library of content and expert information since like 2007, 2008, somewhere in 8 or 9, right? Since the last recession. And he's been consistent with it. You can't go anywhere now and search anything about that pool industry without running into him and his team. And when that happens, people spend time on the website, they're educating themselves, and then when they're ready to buy, they're coming to you. See, remember, people buy when they're ready, not when we're ready. You know, one of my partners on my contractor fight team here, he does a presentation when we do marketing seminars called River of Leads, and it's about the the journey that a buyer takes. All right. So it depends what you do. So if you're an emergency heating and air guy, all right, then you're going to run ads that when somebody's heat goes out, they go to Google and they go, you know, emergency heating services, and your ad's going to pop up. That's a fast thing. It's a fast transaction versus, hey, we're planning on remodeling the kitchen after Johnny finishes college in 3 years. And so right now, you know, usually the woman is hopping online. She's bookmarking sites. She's starting to get ideas. She's educating herself on things she likes and doesn't like. And she's saving that information. She's signing up for guides on, you know, 8 mistakes people make on, you know, home or kitchen remodels and this and that. And the companies that are there providing the answers and are patient and are nurturing her through the process for the next couple of years, they're going to be the ones closing the deals. All right. So I want to encourage you guys, develop the habit of creating a ton of content for your website on a regular basis. When I say a ton, I'm saying at least 2 pieces of content a week. Okay. That is relevant. That is about them. It's not about you. All right. Guys, we're about out of time here. What I want you to understand is that building a strong brand, getting the phone to ring, getting enough leads to hit your goals and things like that is a choice. It is a choice. It doesn't matter if the economy's tanking. If you step on the gas, think of it this way. Take your 2 hands and put them out in front of you right now, parallel to each other. All right? And if you take your right hand and you move it up, and you take your left hand and you move it down, you see the gap between the 2 hands is growing. Well, the hand going down is your competitors. They're shrinking back. They're not taking action. Okay? Because that's happening right now. The hand going up is you. You're doubling down on the things that are working. You're creating more content. You're committed to kicking ass. This is a choice. The gap between you and them will be absolutely mind-blowing 6 months from now, a year from now. You're going to gobble up market share. You're going to be all over online and social media. You're going to build the shit out of your brand because you have a clear direction and you're intentional about the culture that you're building. You're satisfying your employees. They're part of this as well. Guys, you don't have to go this alone. Rally your team around this marketing and branding thing, okay? It is okay to write into somebody's job description, who's a foreman, you need to take a picture every day on the job site and send it to me. And then you teach them how to take a picture, and you buy them the damn camera or the nice phone that's going to take the good picture. And some of you are going to have employees that are good on video and things like that, and they want to do more of that stuff, or maybe they want to edit some things. Okay, you don't always have to outsource things to people. Sometimes the people are right under your nose that can help you do these things, and they have hobbies that are filming and editing and whatever. So rally your team around this, and then you're also going to be more likely to have satisfied employees who are now loyal. They're going to stick with you. They're more productive, quality goes up, which in turn rubs off on your customers being satisfied, and then they're loyal. And we all know when you have loyal customers, they keep coming back and they tell their friends about it. And guys, those are leads that don't cost you a thing, okay? Building your brand is a choice. Root it in education. Teach people, okay? Be more aggressive than anyone else is right now. And I promise you're going to see a huge difference. I don't want you to think about your business today, all right? Very rarely are you going to do a marketing thing today and get a lead tomorrow, okay? It's the compound effect. Things take time. Best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. Second best time is today. A year from now, you're going to look back and either be glad that you implemented the things I talked about here, or you're going to be pissed at yourself that you didn't. And that's your choice. All right? Guys, Harvey wanted to make sure that you understood that they're here to help you. And this is a new time for everybody. They don't always know what you need, but they want to help. And so you have any need, any questions, anything at all that you're struggling with in your business, feel free to go to the domain that's there, harveybp.com/how-can-we-help. All right. And they will absolutely do whatever they can to help you or connect you with somebody that can help you. And finally, I just want to thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I'm going to be back next Tuesday at, I believe, the same time. I'm pulling up my calendar here on my handy dandy pocket computer. Yeah, the 14th I'm back. And over the next couple of weeks, we're going to talk about sales. We're going to talk about creating content a little more and some things like that. So you guys will be able to get that info from Harvey. Guys, if anything my team and I can help you with, marketing your business, learning a sales process that saves you time, whatever, send them a message to help@thecontractorfight.com. And with that, I super grateful that you guys chose to hang out with me here today. Guys, the future trainings, Harvey is sending out messages with that. If anyone's on Harvey right now knows where that is on the website or wherever, you want to post a link in the chat box, that would be awesome. Yeah, as far as where the link is going to be on Harvey's site and this and that, that's on them, guys. But I'm sure they will send a replay out to you, or at least information about where to access the replay and upcoming trainings if you're on their email list and stuff. So you guys rock. I got to roll. Have an awesome day. And we'll see you guys next Tuesday. Thanks again.